So when you have a creative mind, um, the realms of possibility is endless. And when you're creative, when you think creative, there is no starting point, nor is there an end point. Because you're using your imagination, and your imagination is as big as you can think. And from as much as I know, and as much as I read, I haven't found any statistic that says a human mind can only think this much. So, based on that information, the realms of thinking is endless. There is no uh, there is no stopping point on how far you can think or what you can think of. So when you are a thinker, when you are creative, uh, you have so many possibilities. It's like this tree, for example. If you've been on my page, last time, it's full up with leaves. And now all these leaves are on the ground. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leaves on the ground. And as long as it's trees, it's gonna be a lot of trees. A lot of leaves on the ground. It's a plethora amount of leaves. It's endless. As long as there's trees out here. And we are the trees as humans. And our leaves that fall is our thoughts. So as long as we as trees or as humans can think, our ideas, which are our leaves, can fall. So it's endless. We're trees, man. There is no limit on how many leaves we drop. As long as we got another tree, there is no limit. So what if it's 10 trees together or 10 humans together? Imagine how many leaves can fall. Imagine how many ideas can come out of that, especially if they all thinkers. There is no limit when you're creative. Being creative and thinking is the key. They say that in 2012, millionaires be 25% more millionaires than the year before, which is this year, 2011, based on ideas. It's a whole new wave. A whole new wave. And it's funny because if you go back 100 years, motherfuckers were thinkers. 200 years, 400 years. They didn't have the technology that we had, but they were still thinkers, man. They had to think of ways to make life better, to get us to this point. Somebody had to think of it. You didn't think of it. I didn't think of it. So if we continue down that path of thinking and creating, using our imagination, using, if you funny, okay, use your imagination to build comedy into what people enjoy. There is no limit to thinking, man. There is no limit to using your imagination and to building, to creating, to making better. There is no limit. If there was a limit, then half the stuff that's being created now would have never been created. Because people would say, I hear people all the time say, well, I can't create nothing because everything is already out. Well, that's not true. That's why people still creating. You just can't expand your mind wide enough to think of something that hasn't been created. And that's the tough part. Are you a thinker? That's the big question. Are you a thinker? And if you are, then you can't be beaten. There is no salary cap. There is no precedent for your mind. There are other thinkers, but for your mind, nobody's in your head before you telling you what to think. You're coming up with that. Creativity is probably one of the, let me see how I'm gonna word this. Put it this way, creativity is a great gift from God, allowing you to be creative in whatever way that fits your character. Creativity.